What's going on, guys? I hope you guys are having a fantastic day yet again. Have an awesome pickup to announce. Just picked up this beautiful card recently. Did pay a little much on it, but I feel good about it. It's a really clean copy, and you guys know I'm super picky about the cards that I'm picking up for my ultimate collection goals. So let's go ahead and get into it. So this is not one of the cards that I've really actively been looking for, but occasionally when there is an auction, I do watch it. I do look at the card very thoroughly. I try and make sure that there's absolutely no issues with it. When I buy a card that is a PSA 9, I still expect it to be very, very clean, exceptionally clean, and almost mint. I mean, for the most part, I'm looking for any small imperfection that might dock it to a 9, and I'm trying to figure out, hey, is this why it got a 9? Other than that, everything else is clean. Usually it's a little bit off center, or it has a little bit of whitening on a corner. That's the kind of stuff, or it has maybe a surface scratch on the hollow or something like that. That's the kind of stuff that I want to pick up, because buying a lot of the cards that I'm going after in PSA 10 that are this old are very expensive, and it's just way more affordable to buy PSA 9 of the cards that I'm going after. Occasionally, you guys will see me crack and buy a PSA 10 copy of some of the vintage cards I've been chasing, but it is rare, and it's usually after I have given up finding a clean PSA 9 copy. Going after PSA 9s, hoping for perfection, is always a gamble, but here we go. We have the one of the 16 hollows from first edition base set. We have a Chansey first edition, guys. This card is absolutely exceptional in terms of how clean it is. It's not really even that off center. In terms of the back, it's super, super clean. I'm not even quite sure how this card got a 9. It's really clean on the back too, and I'm going to show you guys up close. I don't know why this card got a 9. And sometimes that's also scary, because I'm looking at the card, I'm looking for any imperfection that I can find, anything that I can see, okay, this is maybe why they docked it. For this copy, I'm going to go ahead and say that it was a recently graded copy. I do think that this was recently pulled maybe. But I think that it was docked, one, because maybe it's just a little off center, and they maybe are pop controlling this card, and two, maybe there's a surface scratch or like a slight print line that I'm not seeing. That's the only reason. Other than that, you guys are going to see it right here. The back is absolutely flawless. So let's go ahead. We'll look at the front again. Look at the front again right here. So I started this journey a long time ago, except it was with much lower grades. During the pandemic, I completed the entire first edition base set in PSA 5, 6, and 7. And since then, I've decided to chuck basically that entire collection. I've sold all of those hollows, are now gone. Every single one of them is gone, and now I've replaced all of them with 9s. Starting with the Charizard. So one of my biggest goals was to essentially go after the Charizard first and get that out of the way. Now it didn't work out that way. It ended up working out. I got the Venusaur and Blastoise first, which was super stressful because I was spending a lot of money on two other cards that really weren't my prime focus. It was really to get the Charizard. And eventually I did find the Charizard for a really good price down the road. But it started with the Blastoise and Venusaur with the intention of getting the biggest ones out of the way first. And gradually I had worked my way down. Gyarados was a big one. Mewtwo was a big one. Alakazam was a big one. And Chansey is no different. Chansey is an expensive card. These are hard to grade. There's a lot of hollow surface here. This particular copy, again, let's look at there's something on slab there, but you guys can see it's a really, really clean copy. It looks awesome. I put this pink graded guard on here. It just looks phenomenal with the pink graded guard. Definitely makes it pop off a whole lot more. No, Chansey is not a Pokemon that I'm fond of, but I wanted to complete this goal, and I really wanted to be able to say that, hey, I have the entire first edition base set complete with all of the holographics in PSA 9. Now I have all of the commons and uncommons, but those are still mixed up. I've got a lot of 9s, but I've also got a lot of 8s, 7s, and even some 5s thrown in there. I think it would be much easier to just do this as a raw binder set, but these days, it's just getting really, really hard to find cards like this. And also, I'm super picky, so it's gotten to the point where it's either PSA 9, PSA 10, or bust for me. I'm not proud of that exactly, right? Like, it's become something that's a very OCD thing for me. Whereas in the beginning, I just wanted the cards. I didn't really care what condition they were in when I first started collecting. It was just like, let's just get my hands on these cards. And, you know, that's the thing with vintage is it's really, really hard to find super clean copies of a lot of cards, a lot of vintage older cards out there. And I think that's part of the fun. I think that's part of the journey is finding really good mint examples of these cards. Even with modern, it's part of the journey, right? Sometimes it's really hard to find a really well-centered modern card like this Tyranitar that we pulled the other night on the stream. I'm so proud of this boy. I keep showing this off because I'm so proud of it. But this is a really, really clean copy. It's really, really well-centered. But even this one had a tiny little indent at the bottom that you can, or on this side that you can barely see, and I pretty much pressed it out a little bit. So it's very, very hard to notice, and I'm hoping that for that reason, they might give me a PSA 10 on this one. That would be awesome, especially since we actually pulled that one. But anyways, it can be hard to find a really clean copy of modern cards and vintage cards, but especially vintage cards. This is not a thick stamp copy. I would have liked to have a thick stamp copy, but what it is a newer cert, a newer graded cert. So this is a 9.6 cert, 96 millionth cert. So it was recently graded. I paid $1,900 for this card, if you can believe that. $1,900. Basically, my entire my paycheck for the week essentially went towards grabbing this Chansey. So it was an expensive card. Definitely a splurge, but we are getting very close to finishing up first edition base. It's a lot of the cards that are left are $1,000 or less. I'm really excited about that. It's only going to get easier from here. Chansey, Alakazam, and Mewtwo were some of the big ones that I'm really happy that I was able to cross off. I had an Alakazam that had an indentation in it. I had to get that card sold and replaced with another Alakazam that was an older cert copy. And just real quick, guys, I just want to say that this is a really, really clean copy. And I'm gonna show you guys close up the back of this card, but for the most part, I don't think that you need to buy new cert cards, right? And there is a premium on this. There was a Chansey that just sold last night in auction. I was actually bidding on that one too because I wanted to see where it would land at, and I thought if this one ends up selling at $1,500 or $1,600 or $1,700, there's actually some room considering this one sold for $1,900. But people typically are always going to overpay. There's a thing with modern cert vintage that people typically tend to overpay in auctions for these cards. Whereas the older cert that sold last night in auction only sold for $1,600. That's a $300 difference. Now, that older cert copy did have some silvering at the top that was noticeable even through the photos that were online on eBay. So it's kind of obvious why that one did not perform as well. But a card is a card and the grade is the grade. There should be a market price on a lot of this stuff. But occasionally you'll see kind of a weak 9 sell, and that can be with any card, right? You're going to have price fluctuations. But in this case, I think it was because the Chansey that just sold at auction had some silvering on the top, whereas this one is damn near flawless. I mean, this Chansey looks like it had a good chance at hitting a 10. Let's look at the back so you guys can tell me that I'm crazy, because this card is stupid clean. I'm really, really happy to have added this to my collection. These days, it's really less about, you know, getting value on my collection and building the portfolio of these high-end cards. It's really just about the flex of, like, I've completed an ultimate childhood dream almost of owning some of the most sought after Pokemon cards in the hobby. And that's something that I think is serious. Like, it's a huge achievement for me. And while it might not be relatable to a lot of people, it's something that I'm proud of. I'm proud that I've gone on this journey of doing something much more difficult that takes a lot of time and patience and discipline, rather than just going on the whole rabbit hole of modern and, you know, pushing that whole agenda. I'm going to push that agenda eventually, right? I'm going to talk about modern cards. I'm going to hype up modern eventually, but I'm enjoying my personal collection goals, and that just comes first. It's more important than views or the algorithms or YouTube making ad revenue. Really, I don't care about that at this point. I work like a dog. That's how I make all my money. That's going to probably continue being how I make all of my money. I never really made a lot off of YouTube ad revenue, but I'm definitely not making a lot these days, as I'm not really posting that regularly. But it will always be a platform where I can share my collection goals and share where I'm at and share with you guys, because this is hype, guys. All right, so here's the back of the Chansey. It is super clean. Now that's on the slab, that little piece of dust right there, so don't mind that. But guys, what the heck? Look how clean these corners are. Do you see how clean these corners are? Again, another speck of dirt on the slab that it's not on the card. If any of y'all can see the imperfections, please let me know in the comment section, because this card is a certified clean personal copy in the vintage Grail collection now. I mean, I'm so proud of this copy. It's super clean. Get some harsh light on that. See if we can see any like dents or dings. It's a super, super nice copy though. I'm really, really happy with it. Again, flip it over. There might be a hollow scratch, which to me, I think if there are any scratches, it looks like they're on the slab. But man, look how nice that hollow is on the Chansey. Absolutely stunning. Chansey's a weird Pokemon, right? I'm not sure what they base Chansey off of. I tried to look this up and like learn more of the origin and the lore of Chansey, but Chansey's essentially just the egg Pokemon that, you know, we see Chansey. Chansey gets its first debut around Nurse Joy. You know, Chansey goes back, you know, to being a kid or playing Game Boy and going into the Pokemon hospital, and there's a Chansey and there's the nurse, and the Chansey's, you know, next to the whole station. It's super nostalgic, but I'm not sure what Chansey's supposed to be or what animal it would even mimic in the wild. But it is the egg Pokemon. It is shaped like an egg. And it produces eggs every day, and it gives them to injured people in Pokemon. And there's different variations depending on the games that are released. Like in Pokemon Pearl, the description is Chansey does not give its eggs to evil people. So there's, you know, usually it's a rare and elusive Pokemon that is said to bring happiness to those who manage to catch it. As well as give its eggs to those who need it, but not to people who are evil. So that was the variation in Pearl. But this is a beautiful copy, and I'm really happy to have this one crossed off. Quick recap, since we can finally do this. It is really coming along, okay? This is where we're at so far with the first edition base set. And then the gold stars, I sold Celebi recently. I never even made a video on the Celebi because I was upset with it. I'm only going to make videos moving forward on cards most of the time if they're super clean copy. Unless I catch something wrong with them mid-video. But usually I intend to pick these cards up for the long haul and hold on to them. But here we go. We got the Charizard, the first edition Charizard, the big boy. We got that crossed off. This card cost me $19,000. It was 18,600, but with fees and everything on PayPal, I think it ended up being 19,000, and with shipping. So shout out to the homie that hooked me up on that. Really, really needed that. The Blastoise and the Venusaur I picked up together, and they're both super clean, and they're both little red dot errors. So they have a little red dot ink on both of them, and I love that actually about these. I don't look at it as a flaw at all. It just makes them unique. We've got the Venusaur there. We've got now my clean forever copy of Alakazam. See if we can get the holo to pop off there a little bit. Okay, we've got Ninetales, which is not a small one, not crazy expensive. I think I picked the Ninetales up for about 1,000 or just over 1,000. I totally forgot about the Ninetales. Gyarados was a big one. I got Gyarados for 1,200, and it looks like this card has gone up in price. This was a modern cert Gyarados, right? The Gyarados and Chansey were successful pickups in terms of modern certs. Now the Mewtwo, I picked up the Mewtwo as a modern cert. Initially, you can see it has a print line on it. That doesn't bother me that much. Other than that, the card is in really good condition. That's like, it's one flaw that makes it a 9, but I picked this Mewtwo up originally for 1,900, was unhappy with it, or 1,800, was unhappy with it, and then someone locally just hit me up about getting a Mewtwo, and I ended up getting this one for $1,300. It was honestly an absolute steal. You guys can see, obviously, that there is a print line on it. Let's see if I can show that. It's kind of hard to see it. Hold on. You can barely see the print line below there, but anyways, print line, scratch, just doesn't bother me that much. For $1,300, the amount of money I saved on that card, totally worth it. And structurally, the card's in good shape. And then we have, last but not least, our beautiful Chansey. Next on my list is definitely going to be Hitmonchan. Hitmonchan is a favorite of mine. If you don't know that, I think Hitmonchan is badass. I love that he is the fighting, boxing Pokemon. I think Hitmonchan is sick. So I'm really excited to cross that one off. That one definitely hurt to sell. I had a really clean 7 of Hitmonchan, so that one hurt to sell. But now we replace it with a 9. And I'm super excited for all of this, guys. And I'm super excited to have you guys on this journey with me, completing these goals. It's an incredible time for me as a collector. But it's also, it's kind of sad. I'm not making videos nearly as much. I'm just working really, but I'm still here. I'm still hunting cards. I'm still shopping on eBay. Looking for deals, looking at auctions, watching shinings and crystals and first edition base and gold stars. That's what I believe in, and I'm going to keep believing in it. I still think that those are the pinnacle of Pokemon cards, and I will continue to feel that way. And yeah, that's just, I'm doing me, and I'm proud of that. Anyways, that's where my collection's at right now. Cards that we need a couple of these base set first edition holos. I have not collected a single first edition shining card yet, but that is a big major goal of mine. And then the gold stars, I still need the Umbreon gold star, and now since I've sold the Celebi, I'm gonna need the Celebi again. And then with crystals, I still haven't found a crystal Celebi yet. Some of these cards are so elusive, so difficult to find. You cannot tell me that the scarcity and the rarity doesn't matter. You can't say that about these cards. It's not true. It's not factual. These cards are valuable, they are rare, and they will continue to be valuable and rare. Mark my words, a couple years down the line, these cards will all go up. They will trend up. They have been trending up. It is really up to people to get a deal on these cards, because what I see could be an issue is people buying into these cards and paying all-time highs. Okay, you've got to be savvy. You've got to try and work offers out. Maybe you'll have to buy these cards privately. Maybe you'll have to do a trade or a deal at a show, but I firmly believe that these cards will continue to trend up in value, and I am trying to complete these sets because I feel that this is we are getting to a time where these cards are going to be very difficult to find. You will not be able to find them again in the coming years. So that's my belief on it. But what I am excited about is when I complete these sets, which it's still going to take a while because first edition Shinings, we haven't even started that, guys. I mean, this is going to take probably another year. It may take another year to find the rest of these cards, to source all of them. In the meantime, because I have been focusing on vintage stuff, there's really not a lot of options out there, and it's very competitive. So while I don't find stuff, or when I'm not purchasing something, I'm just saving more money, which feels great. But I'm really excited when I do iron all this stuff out, and maybe even here and there in between buying these cards, I want to buy modern cards. I love modern. It's exciting. It's hype. It's fun. And a lot of these cards can be had for much less. And so that's one of the best things about modern is like there's going to be appreciation on a lot of modern SIRs and alt arts. I don't doubt that at all. I think a lot of people are going to make huge, tremendous gains off of those cards. And my hat's off to them. I have friends that have graded a ton of alt arts and SIRs. That is going to fare really, really well. But I'm not quite there yet, guys, and I might get there soon. But for right now, like the main modern cards that are on my mind, still want Blaziken VMAX from Chilling Reign. I still want the Latios GX from Team Up. I like my Gengar Mimikyu GX from Team Up, but I want one in a 10. I have a 9. The Blastoise Piplup, I really, really want that one. The Tyranitar and Sableye, which I have one raw, but I would really, really like to pick that card up in a 10. And then just in general, all of the awesome alt arts from Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet, the SIRs, any awesome art that I'm about, like I'm really excited to go after those down the line because they will be way more affordable and I will have no issue finding those copies. That's kind of been one of my points too about a lot of this stuff, is that it's not going anywhere, you know? So I'm starting from the oldest and working my way up. Like, you think that I don't like the Lugia V from Silver Tempest? You think that I wouldn't want that card in a 10? Of course I want that card in a 10. Of course I would love to have some of these cards in the highest grade. That would be awesome. But for right now, a lot of them I have in my binders and I have them raw. And so that's doing the trick for me right now. And then vending and selling and making this hobby more sustainable. That's something that I've talked about in the past and something that I still feel passionate about. Not necessarily making a killing in this hobby, but making it sustainable for me to collect and making sales on the side. You know, I'm not going to quit my job. I'm not going to stop running the bar. You know, that's a full-time gig. But I'm really excited about the future of this hobby, where it's going, and finishing my major goals so that I can close that chapter and start talking about what's going on right now, what we should be looking at, what cards we should be looking at, you know, and I'm talking about illustrations and SIRs. Like, there's so many good cards coming out. And while I'm not a fan of every set, there's almost a card in every single set that I do like. So anyways, I'll let you guys go with that one. We got the Chansey. I'm really excited about it. Hopefully the next video will be like one of the gold stars I'm missing, or a crystal, or another first edition base card. Or I may even surprise you guys with a modern PSA 10 card. You know, we'll see. Anyways, I appreciate you guys, and I will catch you guys either in another video, or I'll see you guys on Wednesday night stream. Even though we already got the Tyranitar from this Battle Styles booster box, we're going to continue to open this up on Wednesday and finish the other half of the box. Who knows? Maybe we'll get another alt art. Maybe not. Probably going to waste time opening these packs. Probably should just sell these packs in a lot and just enjoy the spoils of war. But anyway, that's crazy, guys. I opened one box of Battle Styles and get the Tyranitar with Diana. That was amazing. Anyways, you guys, make it a great day. Have a good one. And I hope to make more videos soon. And then lastly, just a little life update. We put in an offer on a home to move into, and it got sold right out from under us. I don't know. I don't think another couple bought it. There were a couple other people looking at that house when we were looking at it. I don't think someone else like a family bought it or a couple bought it. I think it was an LLC or something of that nature, and they're just gonna upfit it and flip it for even more, which is kind of frustrating. But anyways, we're gonna keep on looking. I'm in a good position. I want to start making more videos again, and I'm excited when we do move and I can set up shop in the new house. I'm really excited for how I'm gonna set that up. I don't know if it'll be shelving again like this. I don't know if it'll be kind of like a chill streaming setup. I don't know what we're gonna do, but I'm excited for that. A lot of new things coming, and of course, the biggest thing is that our baby boy will be due here any day now, so I'm really excited about that, and it's gonna get crazy. Okay, peace out, guys.